yeah. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, we coming. Now you coming, yeah. We coming. We better than a big coming. When the year is been checking you again, cause you go out. We coming. We better than a big coming. We coming. We better than.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we like to say welcome again to another edition of the program, The Bottom Line. This program is a political talk show that discusses issues about Liberia, and we do also mix the topic besides just the raw politics, but we do discuss issues of interest to Liberia, and then we blend in the political part of it. And so we like to say welcome. If you're joining us for the first time, this is where we discuss the issue from the top to the bottom, and we make the analysis, and we invite your opinions as well. You can reach us on Facebook and also on YouTube, as well as our online radio. And my colleagues will be here. Jima is already here, and Jima will be telling you more about the radio, how you get on the radio. You know, it's an online radio, so you basically can listen to it anywhere else. And so let me say welcome to Jima as we await the arrival of Mr. Paul. Oh, yes, and Paul is right there. Good evening, gentlemen, and welcome. We want to tell us from your end how you're faring, how is the weather, and because predominantly we are all from Europe here, so we know we got this issue with our weather. So one day is good, another day is bad. So Paul, Jimmy, we start with you, and please tell us a little bit about online radio as well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Do you hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
Thank you very much. Basically, it's our online radio. What we do here is it's another extension, the online extension of the Bottom Line Liberia. What we basically do, people who don't have the time to watch the live video, they can, at the same time while we are going live discussing 20 issues, they can go ahead and listen to the link. We have a link there. That link is always there, and you can, we'll share that link later on during the program, so you can able to join us. I'll share with you a link so you can put it out there. Some who don't have the chance to go and follow our live video, they can listen to it while in the car. The good thing here, you must have internet connection anywhere in the world. Sometimes at your workplace, you don't have the opportunity to watch video, you may not be allowed. You can sit in the background and listen to it. The same thing is the same version, but it's the online radio version. It's the same thing called the Bottom Line Liberia. So every Tuesday at this time, we'll be going live to show you both on the YouTube, online radio, at the same time on the Facebook. It's a nice one. Also, after that, we also got a series of programs that we have on the show. Because we do this program on Tuesday, Paul also has a program called the Oldies but Goodies. Nice music. He plays on every Wednesday. Paul plays on every Wednesday from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. We got other program coming. We do also relay live news from Liberia, more especially for now. We relay ELBC news. That's the government-owned radio station, which is the one we relay 2 times a day with 7 o'clock news and 2 o'clock news. And these are 30-minute news every day. So you have the opportunity. We'll share the link so you can know how to get on there, Paul. Link for.
Very good. And Paul, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. Good evening, guys. It's good to be here. Jemai, been a while. Good to see you. I'm doing good, and I'm happy. Today is another day, another edition of Bottom Line. Man, I'm looking forward to the show, and I'm looking forward to having a good conversation tonight.
Okay, great. And so, guys, if you just joining us for the first time, you already heard from the panelists, and there is Paul, there's Jemai, and I'm Linford Good. So we say welcome and begin to share the video as of now, guys. Those of you who are logged on, and we also invite your comments. And you can call us. We're going to put up the number to get to get us on is a WhatsApp number, so it's very easy to get us. And so tonight we'll be discussing a host of issues, but first on the docket, we'll display them one by one as we go through it. So here's the first topic that we will be discussing tonight: replacing democracy with democracy. The case against Cummings or the ANC. Gentlemen, what we are seeing unfolding in Liberia over the past 5 months now, in a simple case that should be handled in just few hours. Okay, this case has dragged on, and you all know how the case started, so we do not really need to go back again into history about the case. But you know how this case started, and now we are gone 5 months, and then nothing seems to really be happening. They've subpoenaed what do you call that? Witnesses, but still, some of the witnesses even refuse to come. Ambassador Bwaka should have come last week to testify. The first time he didn't come. The second time he came and he didn't testify. And today he was supposed to testify again, and he said the place was crowded, and so he couldn't come. So how do you guys look at this? I mean, briefly, we'll just discuss this and then we'll move on to our next topic. But let's get the views let's get your views on this thing here. Is it democracy that we're practicing, or are we demonizing people and bringing in democracy? Anybody can start.
I'll let for Jamal to go first. Be muted. What Jamal is struggling to, because we can't hear him, I think it's a demonizing instead of democracy from what I've seen. And why is it a case like forgery on a piece of paper that would drag up to 5 months? Usually it takes about a week or two to get this out of the window. But 5 months, for Christ's sake, and then for a piece of paper to say, well, this was the document that we both had, and this one were extracted, and this is what I got. So to show that and make the comparison, would that take 5 months to compare? He says you wrote a document and you found out that the document was altered. So you might have had a copy and I had a copy. We compare both copies to see where it was altered. This would take 5 months. So it's not democracy now. It's persecution that is taking place against one person. And before I go further, have you ever heard in your entire life that opposition stick together to fight the government that in office? But in Liberia, for the first time in history, that opposition connive with the government to prosecute another opposition leader. What on earth have you heard such thing before? So I don't think it's democracy. So if I may answer your question correctly, Linfa.
Okay. Quickly, Jamal.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. Paul and Linford, we've been thoroughly discussed this topic. Probably it's almost they call it the Don case. Anyway, before I say anything, we want to recognize some of our people that follow right now, if you mind. We want to say God Joyful son Augustus son to me. He said greetings from Germany. We also Beatrice Chuluple Smith. We say thanks. He sent our regards, shout outs to us from on the team. She say hello. We say thank you for recognizing us. Thanks for following us. We want to say thank you guys wherever you are. You follow us now. This is the Borderland Liberia. My coach there, we're talking about issues in Liberia. The issue now is about ANC, a trial of Mr. Cummings. Mr. Go ahead. This has been discussed almost all channels. We don't know what is going on in Liberia. We know the case. Look, my question is now is before I answer your question, I had a question to say, why will Mr. Cummings alter or furge this document? Why would he do that? Why would you do that? And it's not in his favor. It was for all the three political parties. I mean, the four political parties, whatever the parties were on that thing. Why would he make any fortune on that party? So it's a case that we all know what is all done. Mr. Cummings said in the interview yesterday, I think, or yesterday, on 50-50. This is about him. They're just after him. This is it. There's no case. They're just after him. So that's when sorry, we said everything about this case, and they just after him to get him out of the game because he's the strong opposition there. He's the only one they can do, they can deal with. So he's strong that they can't take on him. So in order to get rid of him, they'll play that game. That's what I can say about this case. There's nothing in this case is 5 months, nothing, no evidence. What dragged this case? Threw it out of the court. The justice system is compromised. So what can we do? Wait and see what happens.
But the frustrating part about the whole thing here, or no, I wouldn't call it frustrating part, but the senseless part of the whole case is that they will sit on social media and say all of the things and condemn Mr. Cummings. In fact, not condemn him, but what should I say? Bring him down guilty. Okay, and say he's this, he's that, he did this, but they cannot go to the court to prove it. This is where it doesn't make sense because you got your war machinery. They come after Mr. Cummings. They say all these things and sell all the negative information to the public, and giving the mindset of our people, small minds. So some of them, not everybody do. So they quit to buy these things, but then the same thing that is selling to the public, you cannot go to the court to produce these fights that you think you got against Mr. Cummings. So for me, to just brush over the whole thing, I would say the government is replacing the democracy that we have in Liberia with demon-cracy. The demon.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just to add what you're saying, thank you. One of our brothers just commented, if you allow me to pick on those comments. Dada Logan in London, I believe, he said, I don't know where he's from, I believe it's Dada. He said, my brothers, there has been no democracy in Liberia. Cummings' presence in the political space is exposing the corruption and evil in the Liberian politics. This is another your comment. I think
it's important that we take a viewer's comment as we go along because
if you would like just once in a while ask, I'll put it through. Some comments, interesting comment. We may not be able to take all, but some are coming up like highlighting it. If you are man, like you're putting it through. This is what the brother is saying, and we're all saying the same thing. We all saying in the background, this is not something. She's 5 months, no evidence, Paul and Linford, no evidence. What are we all about? You know what is after him? They're after him to get out. This is it.
Okay, so we wait because the good thing about the whole case, Chima, is that it's going to take a new dramatic turn. And guess what? I don't know from it's just from my own observation that the other side, they have been pushing Mr. Cummings. They have been doing all the things, carrying him to court and feeling that they got the edge, But then Mr. Cummings made one move. He said, "Well, the way they think are going now, let me help the government because the whole thing about the case is what to find out the truth, right?" So Mr. Cummings, who got a case against him, he has settled and said, "Okay, send the government say wasting time now, and they think I'm guilty, but they're wasting time. Let me go and bring in forensic investigators, and this time not from Liberia, not from Guinea, not from Sierra Leone, but from where? From the UK. And nobody can say they don't respect the UK because the UK, this is one country that is well known in the world. Okay, the UK alone colonized more than any country in the world. So then our friends from the other side, they are condemning that it's not even important that the people come. So let's go to, and that will drive us to our next topic. Like I said, we got a lot of things to discuss. It's a question. The outcome of the forensic investigation have any impact of the Cummings trial? Is there any impact? Does this? Let's say that the investigators come today and they investigate. Do you think it will have any impact, positive or negative?
Yeah, well, I think from my perspective, from my opinion, I believe I don't know, because what Mr. Cummings is trying to do is trying to build up his international reputation that has been tampered with or has been dragged into the mud, because all the news about him, and he has he sits on a lot of international boards in terms of businesses and other international organizations. So all these noise about from his home country may also taint his character. So I think that's one way he's trying to do. Look, I want to present an argument here that I want to bring an international group involved, a respected, a reputable institution that will claim my name. On his side, as ANC, as a political, as a businessman, as a well-known, respected politician, businessman, that's why he want to clear. That's one part of it. Okay. On the Liberian side, well, Liberians will take. This is say that we have an independent group that is involved and have done investigation. This man is not guilty. But I don't think you're going to have any impact from the court. The court will say, well, we have a different judicial system. We don't believe what they do. We did not order this. How do you say that? That they should go and do the forensic investigation. So whatever outcome you come at is up to you. I'm not a student of law, but I think this is how they're going to. Because if you look at the judicial system, you saying Paul said at one time on this program, the bar association, the justice system saying that things are going wrong in the court and nobody making corrections. So they believe that what they want Mr. Cummings to be dragged into the mall. So they prefer that's what they want. The government is there supporting them. They are backing them to get Mr. Cummings disgraced. So that is the situation here. I don't think the trial will have any impact. You make any effect. But like we want to clear this out on the Liberian people to know that this man has got a clean hands. It has nothing to do with the fraudulent or the criminal misdemeanor they bring against him. On the international side, well, they have come up with an independent group, the well-respected group have found out that this man is not guilty. This is the outcome. So whatever they're saying, what they're in Liberia is a trash. That's from my perspective that I look at it.
Paul.
Well, yeah. I think I will buttress with my brother here on this. You know, when you build your reputation for over 40 years, and then some criminal-minded people decide to drag you into the mud to tarnish your reputation that you built for over a long period of time. I think it was a smart move that Mr. Cummings did to bring people in there before the trial ends. Let the world know that he never tampered with any document. Because this little thing about altering document or forging document, it does not take 3, 4, 5, 7 months to say, oh, yeah, the evidence here. So I think it was a smart move. It may not have an impact on the case, but at least internationally, being that he had built his reputation, people would know that, okay, it's the government now that after this man because they don't want him to contest. So in a nutshell, it will actually show the wickedness in the government and the opposition that collaborating with the government. That's what's going to happen. So it's a smart move. And I think we should all welcome this. And it may help strengthen our justice system too in the long run.
Yeah, but okay, let's look at it this way. There's a lot of people who have been saying that anyway, those people are from the other side, but they are saying that it is unlawful for any international group to come to Liberia to do such a venture. But then this takes me to the $16 billion investigation. Didn't the government bring in forensic investigators?
Well, the government did. The government did. Even Odell Sherman, the late Odell Sherman, when she was murdered, the government, there was independent forensic people that went in. So remember was it 2 weeks or last week when the United Party got the result from NEC? What did they do? And they went to the American embassy protesting and went to AE. So it's common. It's common in Liberia. It does not matter if you want to drag my knee in the mud to put some kind of book charge on me. That's something I've not done. So it's better you bring the independent people in to say, look, this whole case is a Boko case. And I think Mr. Cummings is spot on. Jamal?
You're muted.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to listen to Paul. But first, I would like to say greetings from our brother Samuel Wallace. Send a greeting to us. Thank you for joining us, Samuel. I just want to recognize one of our viewers while we're going through it, if you mind. Basically, with the thing what Paul is saying here, this is what my comment is. The court international, what's happening, like we don't believe. I'll just take an example. When we were in Liberia during the course of the war, nobody listened to ELBC, other stations. We're listening to Focus on Africa as any source that will get the right information from. That was the source most of all. Listen to international organizations. I mean, radio stations like Radio Dutch Welle from Germany, VOA, French International. You heard, you were in the field of journalism, but you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Most of our local journalists were reporting issues that were, I mean, actual true, but we didn't want to listen to them. We thought that they were being pressure or monitored by the government or be like supporter of the government. So that's how it looks like there. When it got confused, well, we'll bring international people in, except the court or the government say, okay, we'll bring somebody in to just, if the government stand alone, like they are not part of this one players in the game, if they bring in an international group, then we will listen. But if Mr. Cummings order, because he's the defender himself, I mean, if he brings in an international based law firm to help to forensic look into the document, it may not make impact from the court. Court will not consider, I believe court will not consider. It was just like helping on the international level and also helping from the Liberian people to look at him like he's a criminal with clean hands. But court won't take anything. I don't think it matters to the court.
Okay, but let's look at it this way. Probably this will be the last question on this topic. But let's look at it this way. What if this group, this international group, comes out with their finding, and their findings say that Mr. Cummings is acquitted? Okay, I'll make a question two part, but I don't know. It's going to be trickish, very very trickish. If they find out that Mr. Cummings is not guilty, do you think the government or the United, the ALP will accept the verdict? Okay, since it's coming from the international group.
Yeah, that's what we are saying, Linford. The case is before the Liberian judicial system. It's not before the international community. So they are saying that, well, you're not judging our case. This is simple. It's a simple logic. The system law, the penal code of Liberia is different from any other country. And Liberia is a sovereign state. They can decide their own case, except if Mr. Cummings want to take the case, he wouldn't take it to Europe. He would take it to the West African court system.
Okay. Yeah, but then it makes that's why I say it's very tricky. So then, if the government would deny that, okay, you are not clothed with the authority to render such a decision or to pass or a guilty verdict or not guilty verdict. So does the government expect us to also believe the outcome of the $16 billion or something? Because this is the same government that went and brought foreign people to investigate. But in one case, they want to make a Liberian people to believe these foreign people. But in another case, they will say, no, we are not credible enough. So then you see the conflict of interest.
Boy, go on. I will speak on
No. That Linfa is funny because this very government was classified as a classic government before. This government, and you remember the Madiski app. There's a scene in Liberia when you pull rope can pull bush. Liberia is a country that just believe in donors. International taxpayers should support them. So that report, when it comes out and then it shared widely around the world, they know that this government is already a bad government being labeled. And all of these things will have effect on the government, on the outside world. So that will show, it will put more fear in them when the report comes out, oh, this man did nothing. So it's two ways here. The government in Liberia can prosecute this case, say, oh, Mr. Cummings is guilty. But then on the other side, it came out that, no, we did our forensic and we found nothing in this for this man. So you stand a bad chance of getting funding from other people in the world because of the kind of legal system you practice in your own country. So that's what I say, when you pull rope pull butch. So it may be, it's good now they're doing it, but in the long run, it could harm them.
Yeah, they will just be undermining themselves because like that. Let's look at it that way. That you brought a group and you investigated, and you may also believe in this group. Somebody brought similar group, they investigated, and you say you can't honor their investigation. I mean, we are just preempting what will happen, right? Okay, but then let's trace the question this way. I may probably Jemima wanted to come in, or should I trace the question? Okay, let me trace the question the other way. If the group finds out that Mr. Cummings indeed did something, you think the government will accept it?
Oh, the government will run with it and say, "Oh yeah, we said it." It will be a story for them.
So you see you see the slippery and the crooked part of this whole thing.
We look, listen. We all know this is funny and it's serious. I'm not laughing because I don't know. We don't have a sister. I just want to read a comment from a sister called Orita Mena I think she's in Sweden. She wrote this one. Our country is in a critical need of functioning institutions.
Right.
The government, that's why the sister sent a comment in on the one of our followers. Thanks, Orita. The thing I want to tell you, my brother, is you know what is behind this case. This is the government behind Mr. Cummings. The judges are government judges. They're on the side of the government. What do you expect? The case will drag. The Cummings is not willing to run in the next 2023 elections. You think there's any justice here? It's clear. That is why Mr. Cummings is saying, look, I want to bring international people in there to clear my reputation, international reputation. Forget about the Liberian issue. But then look at what we do in Liberia. You and myself will sit here and discuss the people politics here and talk to the government we want because we can't deliberate. In Liberia, we know the truth, but what will I say? Mr. Gué is the man who helped me to get the job. I know he's not doing it right. But the day I criticize Mr. Gué, I'm out of job tomorrow. My children will not eat. My son will go to school. My wife will put me out of the house. What do you expect? I'll pay homage to you, my brother. I'll pay allegiance to you because you feed me. This is the situation in the country because we have a system where we depend on each other because whether we like it or not, look what we're talking about. I'm not going to be very critical of the old man, the old man, Honorable Joseph Parker. I just want to bring in. The old man is not feeling well. He's not okay. For God forbid, his pacemaker battery goes low. In the middle of the event, what do we do? Now we know that the old man have health issues. We stay supporting on the ground. We like him. This is not the point. Let's put the partisan politics and put Liberia beyond. Take Liberia forward. This is the issue. It's not. It's how can we change the system? We all know George Weah is not doing well. People are religiously supporting him, knowing that the blind eyes to the issue in the country. Even Honor Taylor, this is the worst I ever seen. Taylor was even far much better. Yeah, this is the system. Well, we stay supporting George Weah. Some people they'll kill themselves or commit suicide because George Weah won't win. They don't have any benefit because of the name or some kind of connection. This is the system. So I'm saying here, the government is after Mr. Weah. I'm sorry, Mr. Cummings. The judges are supporting that. So what do you expect? Look at what I was just the last program we came out the issue of the honorable what do you call them? The net commissioners. David Brown last night. Case thrown out of court. You know who threw out of court? The government threw out of court. They're not willing to pursue the case anymore. This is it. That's the clear case. They don't want to pursue the case. 182,000 case against this lady. They threw it out of the court. They threw it out of the court. They know because it's into the government. They want to meeting her for the next election. So Mr. Cummings is another how do you call it, problem there. So let's get it out. We know how to deal with the old man. Let's push the old man to go forward. The old man will just one time make case that you go for medical training. We'll tell the doctor, we'll pay the doctor good money to discharge his battery. So you're not able to come to Liberia for election.
Yeah, but
so
provided the old man will survive this old man has a history of running away from primaries. And then Dr. McIntosh Gawe is trying to be a challenger. And so provided he'll survive the primaries.
But you think they're going to have a convention?
They do. They will have the convention.
Their constitution says that.
All right, we wait to see that. But whatever the case, we reach the peace in our country. It should be things being done politically right. I mean, being political enemy does not mean we are all common enemies. We all wish well for Liberia. This is the point we're making here. Whatever the case may be, we are saying that Mr. Cummings' case is a dead case. Let it throw out of the court. Give the old man a chance.
Why is it? I got this question. Why is it that every little thing that happens, they will always throw it into the laps of Mr. Cummings? Because I heard somewhere yesterday, they are saying, their talking machine has already started accusing Mr. Cummings that it is Mr. Cummings who is sponsoring McIntosh gave way to go in for primary against the woman when McIntosh was also in that party before. So how?
I wish it could, because any political game, that's a game. If I hope he had that money to sponsor Mr. Gilroy to put him through to fight against him. This is what they did. They brought Mr. Uri to break in and bring the cracks in the CPP. So if we succeeded doing that, fun. So be it. That's politics. If we can go infiltrate into the system, if Mr. Kumi party can infiltrate into the UP and bring in an opposition against him, this is all about politics. This is it. So if Mr. Kumi is that, then he's very popular. He's a powerful man. So be thankful that he can penetrate into the Unity Party and bring an opposition and get the woman out of the way so we can have a peace in our country.
And
let me add something to this. Yeah, I like what's happening. Every day you put radio on, Mr. Cummings, whether that good or bad, they keep promoting him. Now, there's other people that are running. You have a Taiwan is running.
Nobody hear about him.
Everything Mr. Cummings pay these people. He done this thing. He gone into this. He breaking this. Every day is Mr. Cummings. The biggest platform, Mr. Cummings. They don't sleep well, Mr. Cummings. So it's good. They're doing it in a bad way, but they're promoting now the cold water case on the street now, calling Mr. Cummings. So what happened here? He become the most popular person overnight. This guy that nobody know around, the guy who just came from nowhere. Tonight, if you turn on all of the social media, Mr. Cummings, Mr. Cummings, Mr. Cummings, but the issue that is on the ground, they don't want to talk about it. Our president came today with private jet. People not going to school, hospital, they're crumbling. They don't see that one. But Mr. Cummings paying these people. Mr. Cummings doing this, he's doing Ezra. What about the richest man in Liberia called Benena Ure? The man that get money more than any other Liberian. The richest, if you go on Wikipedia now, the richest people from Liberia, Benena Ure top the list. They're not talking about him? So in a good way, the propaganda is doing well for Mr. Cummings.
Interesting. Okay. Let's take a break. But the break we take would be like, we once again ask Jamal. I mean, we're taking a break from the political discussion, and we'll ask Jamal to just tell our listeners that they can also join the online radio. And then Paul, you will also tell us a little bit about our program in Germany. We'll put on the flyer. But you might tell our listeners that even if you don't have a time to probably you're driving, you can't put your Facebook on or whatever, but you can just put on your little online radio. I mean, put your headphone in your ear and you're moving. So tell them about it.
Thank you very much. Like we said, we'll be sharing the link here where you can the bottom line. This is the Facebook and the YouTube version of the online radio. I mean online. This is the European platform where Liberians discuss trending issues. This is generally we discuss all issues in Liberia. People think that we're ANC with this. We are Liberians. We are concerned of Liberia. We want to discuss Liberian issues. So what we have, the program called, the platform is called The Bottom Line Liberia. We have the YouTube and the Facebook every Tuesday at Central European time. We are here at 8 o'clock to discuss burning issues. And also while we're here, we also read it live on the Portland Radio, which we'll be sharing a link to you later. So if you're not interested in watching the video, you're at work somewhere else, you're not in the comfort zone to watch video, you can listen to it live. And also we'll pick your comment and also raise your comment. Please, we don't want anything abusive or we are grown up, we want to discuss as grown up people. So any issues here can be discussed. A lot about Liberia. And also that's the basic thing about we have radio, online radio every Tuesday. Not only that, we also this radio station 247. You can listen to Liberian music. It's 100% Liberia music, politics, talks. We also relay Liberia news, major news from Liberia every day, Monday to Friday, 7 o'clock, and also 2 o'clock Liberia, our time, Central European time. So you can listen to news from Liberia, and if you want to join us every time, you're welcome. We'll share before the end of the program. We will share the link so you can also follow if you like. Thank you very much.
Okay, and the biggest one, Paul, take it there.
Oh, well, This is great. This is great. It's all happening in July the 8th and 9th in Germany handover. The Liberians will be gathering to meet Mr. Cummings. And what happened is the ANC Europe want to introduce Mr. Cummings to the wider Liberian community in Europe, where people will be able to interact with him, meet him, ask questions regards to our beloved country Liberia, and there'll be a fundraising event for the coming 2023 election. So we'll have Mr. Cummings in our midst, and there'll be sporting activities on that day. There'll be symposium, and then follow with a massive dinner dance. And the ladies in Europe are already gearing up to dance with Mr. Cummings because they saw what happened in the convention in the US. So we're looking forward to meeting a lot of Liberians in Hanover, Germany.
Okay. That's it, and we expect Liberians across Europe, and not only across Europe, but from everywhere to be there. And the good news about it is that the bottom line will be there live, just how we are live here, and so you can still ask Mr. Cummings your questions. But just before we resume, let's read one or two comments. Our brother Judah Farr, I guess that's Mark Farr. Anyway, sorry, but Judah Farr. Judah Farr said there's nothing like political enemies, but political rivalry or rivalries. It's only in Liberia and Liberian society that such things exist. Yeah, I agree with him, because Jima, I don't support Jima's Kennedy or Paul's Kennedy. So Paul said, oh, they made my enemy. You don't want to talk to me. Let me make a quick comment. I'm sure I don't want to take most of the time today, but past election, I supported JMB against we are okay. Moon coming from the picture, bring back we are and JMB. I'll stay out of some feeling. I'll still support JMB against we are because I know JMB is better than we are. But in a picture where you have a Cummings, who is the best among the three, who do you expect me to go for? So friends who I had in past, in a past election, who all were chanting JMB, and we took all the abuses. Today, simply because I support Cummings, they ask me, my man, are you going crazy? And I don't understand that I should, they don't. There is something called change. Okay, that's why we are not programmed. We can change. Even the weather can change. The one that government can change. So why we cannot change? Okay, so that's it, brother Far. People will not understand. And let's read from Sister Brown Chilupre. Yeah, she says, true. And in other societies, the politicians on opposing sides are even friends. In the end, they work for the benefit of the people. But this is what politics is about. Okay, that I have a plan that may be slightly different from Jima's plan. And so I try to promote what I can do, and Jima will try to promote. So, but there may be this little difference. So that doesn't mean that Jima is my enemy because he and myself are thinking the same way. Even identical twins do not think the same way. So that's it. And
therefore, I think what I think is the situation in Liberia. If we put a very good welfare system in the country where the people don't depend on the government as a major source of employer, where we don't depend on each other's pockets in our country. We depend on our own. We can able to make our own decisions. But when our life depends on the pocket of other people, there where the situation is. That's what I think. That's what I think the situation is, because I can't criticize you because the next I criticize, I'll lose my job. I'll lose my daily money you give me. And government becomes the major employer in the country, my brother. Everybody running for government job. While you are saying the country, what's happening now in the UK, where the government, the prime minister, the own party people are after him because they call it the beer gate, where he had a party, they went somewhere, had a party during the COVID period, when he told others to go indoor when they were partying. So they're after him, they're asking to resign, his own party people. It won't happen in our country because we depend on the government, we depend on those who, somebody are in the attitude of, yeah, I'm the one looking after everybody. You got like one house, you got about 200-300 people depending on your pocket. We should need to get rid of those systems. A proper welfare system to be put in place, and the systems should be able to sustain ourselves instead of depending on others' pocket They become liability. You can't make decisions. That's where we have issues, my brother. If we had that system in place, the system will be right. We will go after people. We'll make people accountable for what they've done, for their saying. People come on the street and say this must happen. That's what's happening right now in the country, where people are just suffering. Librarians will come on and go and criticize. You must do this because whether they give or not, they will have their money coming through. Their daily bread, their food is available, everything's okay. Nobody bother them. Government that is in place, they will attack you. They'll tell you the right thing. They don't need to fight you. Change will take place. But the people in power want to maintain a system like that so they can control the people. Controllability, that's what they want. So any decision making, if you try tomorrow, your uncle that got a job, you'll lose your job. Then your uncle will call you. If you know that nonsense again, I'll put you out of the house. You know the story. I don't want to go further than that.
Okay. If you watching us, you can call us on that number. It's a WhatsApp number, so you can reach us. It's very simple to call, and you can give us your opinion on the issues that we're discussing. So, gentlemen, with all of these things that are happening to Mr. Cummings, he's in court for five months, nothing happening. He sent for forensic investigators who know when they will be arriving. But amidst all of these things happening, Mr. Cummings still remain resilient. He still remains strong. He still remains hopeful. Now, he says here that he is optimistic that the CPP will, the CPP is strong. Sorry, I guess that typographical error, but I'll correct it right after here. The CPP is still strong and that it will unseat the Weah administration come 2023. Tell me, anybody can stop, or it could be you, it could be Jima, but tell me, how somebody will ask, how is it possible that you are in court and you still feel that this organization is strong?
Yeah, let me take it from there. Let them be a little bit critical here. Librarians are disappointed, with this CPP thing. And when December came in, they were really happy. There was a force that came to unseat Mr. Weah. They were really excited. You see the force, people like the likes of DeLong, Youngleys, other people like Sube, Aborchas, other people. You saw different dimension in politics. People believe that there was a change on the way to Liberia. Yeah, then things change around. That's the frustrating part of Liberians. So when CPP started taking each other to court, where ALP took Cummings to court, Mr. Barker is going to testify, then people become wary of the situation. They became wary of the politics in Liberia. They became like, what do we trust? And it can be anybody. So, the good thing about, I like Mr. Cummings, he's very committed, he's very composed man. Despite the troubles he's going through, he still remains steadfast, saying, look, change will come. He believes in it, and that's supporting. He believes in it. A change will come. But then how change will come? He has strategies. He's working on like minds. I think on the 50-50 Scout's effort, he said, we have people who work other political parties that will work together and build the CPP. Let's see what comes up. But people are really this kind of disappointed at the moment. Liberians are disappointed at the moment. They think like CPP will not hold up again. That's what most people believe. But then how do we change that? We need to win their hearts. They need to speak to the bread and butter issue. Speak to the people, the youth hearts. What do they need? Tell them the CPP stays stand. How can you bring people on board and make that change? So you see the combination of people count on CPP. I think things will change. We don't forget, but we will see the changes. Some credible people need to go on our CPP board. We've got too many political parties, people vying for that job. To run political parties. If they work together and put the differences aside, forget about UP, forget about ALP. There are other political parties. So I think Mr. Cummings believes in it, and I think essentially we know him for a couple of years. He's a man who believes in principles. He believes that change will come to Liberia. I think the Liberian people need to believe in him and listen to him. Change will come, trust me.
Great. And somebody says that the only people who can change their mind are people who have one. Oh, so Paul, you got anything to add?
Well, the thing is, I said it earlier, and I will repeat this. When your name is in the public domain every blessing day, they're going to vote for you. So when he said the CPP were traveling from Banca to Monrovia, and the vehicle broke down. That example he gave, that vehicle broke down. You know, when you carry passenger, some of that done all kind of things. You taxi driver and bus driving. When you carry a group of people somewhere, when the car break down, some people are very impatient. They will leave and go, but there will be some people will stay. You face that car, and then you'll continue the journey, right?
Yeah.
So the people that remain, they will continue the journey, and then when the bus fails on its way, they will pick a new passenger. So the new passenger that coming on board will make Mr. Cummings president. And why do I say this? As long as those people keep singing his name day and night, when a forensic report comes out and he's clear, it will be another dimension in the Liberian politics. Look at it that way. That will give a lot of people who's on the sideline confidence to join him. So the CPP will hold in a way those who feel those passengers that were dropped off, they can now find other means of going. So yes, it's a strong possibility that they will unseat George Weah and his confidence.
That's a good analogy where, you know, the bus broke down. It will come from Picana, it broke down in Cotton Tree, just few miles to Monrovia. Then some people said, they say, oh, wow. They start walking, and then you face a car, you got a new passenger.
Yeah.
Who are in the body, start stopping and say, stop him. He said, no more seat for you.
He gave the new passengers on seat. He said, this is a position, you're going to sit here and you will enjoy yourself. We'll put air conditioning on, music you want to listen to. From here to Monrovia, you get then they'll be happy to join on.
Yeah.
They'll get on board, so that's how it looks like.
Okay, but you know, I mean, this is my personal opinion. I admire Mr. Cummings for being so resilient, for being so, you know, when this case started, I felt that this will, you know, kind of diminish his impetus, you know, that kind of momentum that he has. But you know, the man still moves around, he goes around. I saw one video just, I think yesterday, where he was jogging with the crowd, and they reached certain point, I think it was a little bit harder. So, you know, but I mean, this man is invigorated every day. I mean, some people will sit and hold their heads in their palm like this and begin to think the next step. But I mean, the man is still moving. So, it's just my own personal. You know, I wish everybody could be like that. I wish I could be like him.
Look,
And so
I'll tell you something before we move on.
Yeah.
When in Monrovia, you visit a government ministry, have conversation with people. Because they employed by the government, they don't talk. But when you're sitting quietly to tell you, say this man is the best man. Those are the silent voters. They don't talk. They don't call radio show. There are so many. And now, look, I'm going to give you this. In terms of the voter, those who vote, majority are the women because they bear that responsibility at home. They feel the suffering of the family more than the men. Those people, majority carry Cummings. So look at it that way. The women voters, a lot of women kind of favor him, and that is a plus. So I think this guy, this is why the government now kind of finding it. Oh, but we talk about tying this man down. We see him dancing over there again. And every Saturday they have this program, people coming on board, the recruitment of new people. That alone still scaring the government. It's not happening in other parties. ANC is the fast growing political party in Liberia. And well, Dr. Kiase was making here a few months ago until his case started. People from Dr. Kiase group now too, they're looking for room. So those are the passengers that Mr. Cummings is going to pick on the west side.
And you just said something that was validated by the very Benin that carried Mr. Cummings to court. He said the ANC, he said in one of his videos that the ANC is the fastest growing political party in Liberia. So I think all of these actions, court actions, and all these things come as a result of that fear that this man came from nowhere. We've been on the ground all the years. I mean, let's look at, I mean, we got enough time to go. We still got up to, some half an hour to go. But let me bring this to light. Look at the United Party that we're talking about today. The United Party that have become so, boasting that they are the largest party. This party was started somewhere in the late 70s, early 80s, and this party had no record of even going third place in any election. Prior to the coming of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to the United Party to revive it. Okay, so the United Party was just like one of those little parties, but because of the presence of people like Ellen Johnson, this party regained life. This party was resuscitated, and now it's on life support with the absence of Ellen Johnson. And one good thing I learned about the United Party since is that every little thing they let them bring other people. When they get proud, they say, "Oh, Ellen working with Cummings because he like worker." When something happening, a party or like ANC who just came a few years ago and they are gaining this ground. So it creates, that kind of panic. Okay, like I was just talking about United Party. This is a grand old party, more than 40 years old. And when did it become, a government? Just few years back. So, to see an ANC under Ellis Cummings booming, so they get afraid. But our link is up here. So let me get paste a link there. From there, we'll move on. That's the link for the radio, the bottom online radio. So you can go and type. I'm not too sure if you can copy this link directly from here, but you can. Can it be copied? Okay. So if you can do that, you can do it, and you can listen to us as we're talking now. You will listen to us. So we briefly saw Antrick. I don't know whether Antrick is coming back, but we're getting your feedback. And also you see in the link here, so you can click on it and listen to it. Okay, gentlemen, this brings us to our next topic, and this one is unrelated to the ANC. It's unrelated to Mr. Cummings, but it has to do with a high-profile individual in the society. And this individual holds a very top, has been at the helm of power for more than 20 years now, almost 25 years going. This individual was First Lady of the Republic of Liberia under President Charles Taylor's regime, and that's First Lady now, First Lady then, and now Vice President Joe Howard Taylor. We all know the case with the alleged money launderer, Sheikh Basiru. And this guy was picked up in the United States of America. He's going to be tried, I think, for money laundering or for duping the U.S., some communists in the U.S. of several thousands of dollars. But when this guy was investigated, or the investigators say that they found out that he has ties, according to emails that they found, he has ties with the first president, and not only the first president, but some other top government officials, because we even hear that the representative of District Number 14 in Montreal County is mentioned in the guy's case that he has a passport, and in that passport is a diplomatic passport from Liberia, and in that passport, his title is Chief of Staff of the Representative Office. So, government officials are linked to this guy. But our attention is drawn now to the VP because of her prominence in society, because of her status in society. But the question here is, gentlemen, and I want us to discuss this issue. The VP had denied all or any ties with this guy called Basiru Kante. But then my question here is, what if Kante implicates the VP? Should she step down? Because the thing is, she is VP, right? And this kind of thing is coming up. And she was quick to deny and then link to the guy. But the guy is under investigation. What if we just supposition? What if she's mentioned, or the guy actually says that, yeah, the VP and I are close and we've been doing blah, 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 blah. What should become of her? know in Liberia.
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yeah, well,
Do you hear me very well? Yeah.
yeah,
Good. My point from I think I believe that is we keep saying the same thing. It's very difficult where you see the VP will step aside. I mean, that would be the honest and decent thing if the VP can step down, more especially on me being, connected. That's the first and foremost. She must first and foremost, you know, give herself out of all government official duties, keep quiet, remain silent, remain absent until the case is, resolved or is completed. But what happened right now, they will complete, she'll continue to deny, deny, deny. You see, this investigation from outside won't come out. These international investigators will go ahead and do thorough investigation before they put out their findings. It's not like what we do in our country where we jump to conclusion. They have done all their work, their homework, and they've found out that she has some connections. Not only that, the VP has connection where she alleged to have connection with a guy called uh, uh, Obi something, Obi Kubana in Nigeria, who
yeah.
also been conveyed or been accused of this money laundering. So in Liberia, as a politician, but this you see as a political gamble if you step aside. But I will advise for now, until the case is under investigation right now, what you should have done to do the decent thing is to step aside a little bit, avoid all the government official duties. But then, mind you, it could be like you could see as do you call it, a campaign slow against her to get her out of this stuff. I mean, to slow her down for next election.
Yeah, but,
Whereas
but
other
but
things
when you
happen in the
say
country.
when you say when you recommend that she should do a honorable thing to step aside, what do you mean? To
Step
resign or
aside, I
just
mean, like for now,
uh,
remain quiet. Do not get involved in any official duties until the investigation is completed. And if found guilty, connected, she should honorably resign from the job as the vice president because this is criminal in nature. That's it. That's all I believe she do. Now, don't get yourself involved in any government official duties. Remain quiet, stay indoor, kind of put yourself in a house arrest. We call it probably in the COVID period, called isolate yourself. Yeah, remain isolated until the case is resolved. She's innocent until proved guilty, right? Let's look at it that way. Because being a vice president, you want to do the honest thing, you want to follow, you want to you want to send an example. Don't get yourself involved. Wait until the decision is out.
okay. Paul, just before you step in, Andre will let us say welcome late than never,
Thank you.
better late than never, and
Better late
yeah,
than never, yeah.
yeah, we appreciate your effort at least to join, and we have like 30 more minutes to go, but within 30 minutes, a lot can happen, a lot can be said, a lot can be analyzed. But
Yeah.
we've been talking a series of things, but right now we're on this VP. Um, Her name was mentioned by the Americans that after checking this guy's email, see, and Jamal struck a very important point. These
Yeah.
people will not accuse anybody. They got nothing against. Like in Liberia, we say, "Oh, you hate a man. Then why are you talking about a man?" But the
Yeah.
people say the FBI conducted investigation on the man email. They visited him.
Mm-hmm.
They checked his
Mm-hmm.
email, and they saw the VP connection to him. So I know the FBI got anything against the VP. Okay,
No,
the FBI is not in ANC. The FBI
they
is
are
not
doing
in,
their work. Yeah.
yeah, the FBI is not a member of ANC. They're not a member
Mhm.
of any other party.
Yeah.
So Paul, you got anything to add before Andre steps in? We're muted, Paul.
Yeah, the government being classified as a classical government that we know is a corrupt government.
Mm-hmm.
From the beginning of 2018, remember Joa was in Bond County was saying, she said this thing here, this is our time.
Mm-hmm.
Our time to chop. If you want to be part of us, you got to join the CDC.
CDC.
Few months ago, George Jada, Serena Seafor were on the U.S. money laundering list.
Mm-hmm.
Today is the VP, the connection. So what does that tell you? The people have done, they're doing their work. The
Yeah.
connection is there. So
Mm-hmm.
you're dealing with a government that hands into all kind of little things. So don't be surprised. These guys are carrying diplomatic passport.
Yeah.
On what ground that you working for or what or senator or representative? Would that give you the urge to carry diplomatic passport?
Mm-hmm.
So what mission are these guys on? Money launderer is there. So it just tell you that the government are already been accused of money laundering. So these
Mm-hmm.
guys that you see they got this profile on that carrying the duplicate, is that the people that are moving the money around?
Yeah.
Think on this. So because Joel said that this is our time to do all the bad things. So all the
Mm-hmm.
bad things now opening up for us to see what it meant. This is our time.
Yeah.
Andre?
Hmm. You really want me to talk today?
No, no. I mean, discuss the issue. That's it. Once you discuss the issue, it's okay.
Um, yes, this issue about Joel involvement in the thing is it's not only her alone, so people cannot say somebody have a personal issue against her because the president of Liberia, President Weah, is also involved with this guy. And I don't really know why the person who spread the picture on Facebook decided to leave Weah out of the picture so that the public cannot know that he is also involved. He was also seen in a photo along with this guy who has been convicted as a criminal with some foreign investors taking pictures. So that means this guy is an errand boy of Weah who does all of his black dealing and corrupt work outside of Liberia in the Western world. So if you see the FBI come up to give a full information about Joel involvement and some other official who are also involved with this guy, that means they had been doing their investigation for a very long time and they have been tailing this guy for a very long time. And yeah, they have nothing against them. They want the whole world to be a safer place because corruption is something that is really bad. It denies people of their right basic necessity of living. It destroys an entire nation. So it's something that, yeah, the Western world stand against very, very bad. And I want people to understand. You see, my case with regards to the rape and things and DNA, um, so and so and so. It was America that told me about the DNA being manipulated. Yes, they told me about it. The DNA was manipulated and the child was not my child. So when America comes out to talk about anything, they have proof they can defend it to the letter. You go any part of the world, is the truth is going to come out. When they come out to tell you something, don't go against it or say maybe they hate you or this or that. That they tell you the truth after they finish doing everything they want to do. So Joelle is a criminal, and yeah, she's a criminal. What do you expect? A former first lady of a rebel leader? What do you expect? You think her hands are clean? You think she is pure? No, she have lot of things. There are a lot of things that woman have done, but pretty soon, the one that she have gotten herself into, that is the one that is going to destroy her and bring her out totally for the whole world to see the kind of woman she are and all of the evil thing that she has been doing. People who are being afraid to speak against her or talk about her thing will have the courage to tell the world their story and tell the world how evil this woman is and yeah, how she has been going on. So she is no innocent person or she's no saint. She's a very dangerous person, just like we are. This is why she's afraid of we are because she is dangerous and we are is more dangerous than her. So they are all the same 6 and 7 in the same old wine battle. It's not a surprise to me. Yeah, it's not a surprise to me.
Okay. Um, we for now we'll hope that the FBI will give more information, more details, even though
Yeah.
she has come
Mm-hmm.
up to deny her link to Basero. But the case is ongoing. So
Mm-hmm.
this is not like the good thing I like about this particular situation is that
Yeah.
this is not Liberia where somebody will manipulate the whole
Yes.
system.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get a fights surrounding that case.
Definitely.
And
Mm-hmm.
Basero, I'm sure Basero will not want to get himself tangled in a mess alone
He
and
will
have
talk.
some
Yeah.
fights. So
Yeah.
he's going to come out um, to to to
To save himself.
to save himself.
Yeah. He's
Okay, so
definitely.
we move on to the next topic to keep in with our time. Um, we're learning now to keep time because we'll be having guests coming up here and we got to keep on time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask this question. We got a lot of crimes being committed in Liberia
Mm-hmm.
in recent years. I mean, somebody was describing how life goes on in Liberia, and I thought the guy was explaining a movie to me,
Mm-hmm.
where he says, you know, people, people like young boys, and I'm not responsible people, but the boys in the street, they
Mm-hmm.
carry long screwdrivers and scissors in a pocket on them, whether for self-defense or whatever. Crimes are just become people will come and literally grab you and take things from you, you know,
Wow.
and it's going unpunished. People will find dead bodies all over the town every day, and nothing happens. Nobody's being arrested. When people are arrested, we don't hear anything, and
Mm-hmm.
it's all because of impunity. There is
Yeah.
nothing to deter people. Okay, if you have a strong justice system or punitive action in place, people will be afraid. That alone
Mm-hmm.
can make people afraid.
Yeah.
Okay, but in the absence of any punitive action, people will commit that crime and even go. And psychologists have discovered that there is one word, the most dangerous word in the whole English language is there are two words: do not. Do not. That's the most dangerous word in the entire English language. The
Mm-hmm.
moment you tell somebody do not do this, they want to know why you said they shouldn't do it. If you want to find out, all of us will get family. All your children can play in all the rooms, or they can. But just lock one room one day and tell them say the room where they play every day say do not go in the room. They
Mm-hmm.
want to know when inside. See, so people go unpunished when they commit crime. Now, the question I want to ask here, or the thing that I want us to discuss here is we used to have a place called the Bele Yala Prison Compound. That was way in the Bele Forest. And I saw a documentary on this thing. There was no car road there before, but I think they got car road there. Okay. So they will carry the prisoners and put you in a boat or in a
Mm-hmm.
raft and cross through all this river and then put you on this island. Even if you break jail, you're not swimming because they got towns on the other side. So when they catch you, and the town people that know each other, so it was difficult. When we hear the name Bele those days, for me, I thought Bele was somewhere where they can kill people. Because every time they talk about Bele it sounded dangerous to me. So my question here is to all of us: in the presence of all these things are happening, should the Bele prison compound be restored to that original status it was before? That when criminal hear the name, they will have a second thought. What do you guys
They
think?
the first thing first, Linfo, is that in order for Liberia to be safe once
Mm,
again,
mm,
we need a good leader that is going to bring about the war and economic crime codes. You cannot be in a country where there is warlords, ex-rebel generals, their wife, their children, and these people are in high government places, and you expect for that country to be safe. No, it's not going to happen. This is what is happening to Liberia right now because you have ex-generals, warlords who fought the war, kill innocent people, and these people are living with us. They are not only living with us, but they are in key government positions. And they are using these, they are ex-rebel fighters to destroy innocent life. So you do not expect Liberia to be safe until Liberia can have a good leader that will request for the War and Economic Crime Court and bring all of these people to prosecution. And those people that you're called Zogos in Liberia, they can also be tried because they kill innocent people. They must not go with impunity. They must be prosecuted so that tomorrow it will set as a precedent to other young generation that war is never the answer. And if you go ahead to bring about war or coup or anything to kill innocent life, this is the consequence that you will face.
But most of the Zogos that we have now, some of them are very young. They didn't even see the war.
They
So
are the ones I'm talking about, the ones that, yeah, that saw the war, that fought in the war, and they were rebels. And because of that, they get addicted to drugs and a whole lot of things. They need to be prosecuted. There should always be a consequence of any one action. If
Jima,
a nation,
you are muted. I saw you like attempting to come on.
No, I
if
just
a
want to wait
nation,
for to finish
if
now. Come on.
if a nation cannot persecute, hold people accountable, then that nation is bound to fail. That nation is bound to go into chaos. And this is what is happening to Liberia. Liberia is in a total crisis. Liberia is in a total chaos. And this is why you and I are always on this platform talking about change. We need a real change. And that can only come about if we have a good leader, a leader that's going to change the whole system, bring all of those warlords and their allies, their wives, people who are destroying our country.
There is something in our law. You can't transfer crime. So if I
It's not
commit
just
crime,
when I say bring that, some of their family have also been a participant into crimes. They also took part in war, and they are still in the loose in Liberia. They are still killing innocent people. Look at what happened. General Botneke. I saw a video that he is back in Liberia, and he's also he beat up a lawyer. He beat up a lawyer. So these are some of the things. We need accountability in Liberia. We need to hold these people accountable. Those innocent lives that were taken, it's not going to go in vain. They must account for it. There should be a precedent. Precedent must be set for the generation that come after. If we want to live in a society that will be free, that will be okay for our children, that our children cannot be raped, you still have bloody men around there in that country that can just, they see a child, they rape a child, and the other men have the guts to tell you that the child, what they call, was small, so you have to tear it up. What kind of nation is that? Because there is no precedent, there's no accountability, there's no good
okay.
leadership.
The bottom line here is: do you agree or disagree that the Bedeyala prison compound should be restored?
I agree that it should be restored. And if it is restored, how do we restore? It starts from bringing the War and Economic Crime Court.
Yeah, of
Bringing
course. That's the
those
process to it.
responsible. And when you bring in the War and Economic Crime Court, those that are also participating in the killing now under and we are government and other past government, they should also be charged. They should also be held accountable.
Okay, but let me. I know the other two guys would want to come in, but let me just say this: we do need the War and Economic Crimes Code to restore the Bedeyala. Let's restore it first and be dealing with the other criminals now. Then the war, because the War and Economic Crimes Code land. Listen, you're not going to have war crimes prisoners going to Bedeyala or whatever, because you have to do it in acquiescence or in agreement or in cooperation with the international community. Okay?
Yes.
So you will not just grab one man from Prosperity and say, "Man, you're fighting war, can't go to Bedeyala."
But do you know that Bedeyala prison can also be used.
Yeah. They could use it. They could agree on it to use it. I agree. But
in
let's
Sierra
agree
Leone,
first that it
when
should
the
be
Sierra
restored.
Leoneans established the crimes court in their country, they had it. The British government built a whole prison center. When you see the walls, very strong. Just yeah, I don't know whether you now see the United Nations headquarters opposite City Hall. How that wall looking thick up. That one is even short. It's all the way up. There where they pack that they play the way and put for the Sanko. For the Sanko, all the rebel leaders then when they catch them, people testify, there where they are, even up to now, there where all of them are. So you can re-establish that Bele Yala, make it to be built up to an international standard of praising, where you pack people like Prince Johnson, Chad, I know how they call General Bodnike, this, that, all of them, Edwin Snowden, all. These are all killers. And that other Agnes Taylor, every one of them, you pack all of them there where they can even escape water surrounding and that road where Ellie went and make, we close that road. No road to go Bele Yala anymore. We put an alligator around there. By the time they won't go. By the time they won't jump off, they
Jamal,
the alligator mob.
come in Paul or come in Jamal.
Okay.
The question is whether
laughing?
we should restore, whether the government should restore the Bele Yala compound and even upgrade it, so that we can continue some of the criminals with that.
Yes. Do you hear me, Linfo?
Very clearly.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'll look at it from a different perspective. You see, the situation we have in Liberia, we had a fundamental mistakes. First and foremost, after the Civil War, there should be a system where most of our people should be properly rehabilitated. The government, from the early government, which was the first government after the Civil War, should have come a system where, institution where most of our disadvantaged brothers and sisters are helped. You see, all the social issues coming from the system. Before you express anybody, most of the people hijacking, those crimes in our country is when the social system is rotten. That's the problem. That's a fundamental issue we have. We need to set our system right. So that's the reason we are clamoring for the government to change that country. Because if we set our system right, then these all maximum prison you're talking about can be effective. Do you know that having these institutions is like you're putting taxpayer money to erect these institutions, those maximum prison. And what happened? Taxpayer money go in there. We feed them, we look after. You don't put somebody in jail, you feed the person while the person going on trial. If the person, because we don't introduce death penalty, the person will be living there for the rest of his life or her life, and we pay for it. So one thing we should know, my concern here, I'm in favor of a maximum prison, whatever you call it. But there must be a fundamental changes to the issues we have. We created a situation, we went into 14 years of civil war. Can we correct the situation? Most of the people in the graveyards, those disadvantaged boys and girls, how we help them out from getting out and jacking people's bags? How we bread and butter for them? I'm not supporting them.
So we need two things.
Hold on, Andre. Probably I did not refine the question, but I think it should be, we should discuss it this way. Normally when we talk about praising compound, going to praising in
Liberia. I agree. Consider that they've been convicted. If you say that.
Yeah, I agree.
Consider
of course, you will not send somebody to
system is in place, everything's fine. Consider they be convicted, fine. But you should also understand that.
I'm sure the legal system works this way. You will not send somebody to prison if the person is not convicted. But what I'm saying here is, I think I should refine the question this way. Because every time we talk about prison in Liberia, the first group of people I might go to that is small pickpockets. Because we say they're stealing. But the big government official will say they're embezzle. It's hard to see big government official in jail in Liberia. So every time we talk about prison, the first place I might go to Azogos and all the kind of people. Two guys who are fighting, maybe the two guys are drunk who are fighting and they arrest them, But when I talk about upgrading this prison, where it will be up to standard, like to international standard, like the Guantanamo type of prison, where you carry these people who steal our money. You know, like Mr. Cummings
No,
saying,
no, no, no. Listen, before
yeah.
wait for. I want. Let
Mm,
me. If you turn it, I'll got a different way of looking at it. Prison should be a correction center.
Mhm.
Prison should be a correction center. Prison should be
mm,
where people learn.
mm.
Because we don't have death penalty in Liberia, we should have a system. People may commit crimes for reason they, at the end of the day, they may have a remorse for the crime they
There
committed.
is no reason that somebody will be corrupt and steal the whole
No,
country
no, no.
money.
I'm coming now. I'm coming to you. You know,
Mm.
listen, there are a lot of reasons. You know why somebody shot Ronald Reagan? You know the reason? You know why somebody shot John F. Kennedy? These are reasons. There are some social issues that you will wonder why they would do this. Some may have done out of popularity, just the how do you call it, the love of it, just to want to be popular. It could be any reason. I'm just saying something to you right now. The system we have is rotten, like my sister has just said. It's rotten. We want a good leadership in the country. But the thing we need to do, right, prison should be correctional center. One thing you should also be careful, we should be very noting here is prisons was it has effect on our economy. We will be responsible for those who put in jail. We should bring them out to pay for it. How do you make someone? Let's agree some times ago on a dual regime. People were sent to Belayala because government gave the agency, rice agency, oil agency, gas agency.
Mhm.
They did not bring the money out. Government put in the Belay. Were they being Belayala pay money, government money back? No. You have to then you pay. How do you make it to pay back? That's the system we should introduce. Except the maximum crime. I mean, of offense committed that would warrant a person to go to jail for lifetime. That's a different thing. Corruption or thing, let him pay for it.
Yeah,
I
but
think this
what
is
if
what.
you take it? What if you take the money from the guy and you say discipline him,
Yeah,
put
but
him in jail?
giving
Yeah.
him up to pay for his lifetime, he making to pay for it. Let him go to work and pay the government. Let him pay our money.
No,
That's what.
let the man
Okay, I'm
take
not
all the money
against
from
you.
the
I
man,
think
confiscate
those who
everything,
those who
and put him
squander
in
our
jail. Let
money,
him be
listen,
homeless.
those who squander our money should pay for it.
Yeah.
But those who
The
commit those
thing is,
criminal,
the thing,
mhm,
the thing is
those who
that
commit those
Jamel,
criminal offenses go to maximum prison and serve that sentence. But if you
they
corrupt the
stage.
system, you pay our money. Why should you steal our money? We pay to jail. We use the government taxpayer money and feed you. Why should we do that?
But the thing is, if the man who stole the country money and
Hmm.
he's been placed in jail,
Hmm.
his right is been completely taken away from him because he is in a confined place that he cannot be free as a normal person. And secondly, everything will be confiscated from him. Take everything from him. The properties or money that he has in various foreign account is his property abroad and so and so. You seize all of his assets and use that money, that corrupt money that is stole. You can use it if you take all of these corrupt officials and hold them accountable, put them behind bars where they belong, a good maximum prison in Liberia, and then use that same money to make sure that they remain there for the rest of their life, and use the money again to open a rehabilitation center for those Zogos. Take them in the street, carry them far away.
Let's hear, our time is fast spent. Let's
We
hear
have
Paul.
we have lots of vacant lands. We have lots of vacant lands in Liberia, especially in the rural areas. You take them far away, you build a place there, you rehabilitate them, make a place like a farm where Liberia will start to produce fruit and vegetable. And on this farm, they will be working there and be earning their own money and live there until they can be better for society. You bring them out. They
Okay, Paul.
show that, yes. So this is a liberal one, and this is why we are fighting for Mr. Cummings to be in as the president come 2023. I support him 100%, and I will make sure, we all will make sure that Mr. Cummings become a president because we know the kind of man that in fact, the whole country knows now that Mr. Cummings is the right person. Every day people bang my phone. You get you troublesome, but we know that man is the right man. But you're more continue fighting. We say, but yeah, we only want until we go to the mansion and change Liberia because we will bring all the rules, those rebel leader, every one of them, they must be sent to prison.
Okay, Paul.
So from what I'm gathering here is two kind of prisoners you're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm right, the political thieves
Yeah.
and the gotta commit just petty crime.
The guy that
No,
commit
no.
petty
Actually,
crime,
my concept,
especially those that are taking the drugs, must be rehabilitated. This is a
my concept
recommendation.
is not to go
And the
on Broad Street
warlords.
or red light and grab one little boy, because I follow a video from
Yeah, I just want a
yeah,
clarity. The
yeah,
petty crime.
yeah. Okay, yeah. My concern is not actually about these little boys. For some reason, social reason, they're doing drugs. We're talking about people who consist. There are people who have been in government for 40 years, and they feel that that's the only place they can live. That's the
No,
only
but
place they can work
we
because they can
also
see.
live
Those are the
for
people I'm thinking about. So
we also need to take, especially these guys who are living in the cemetery, they need to be taken out because they are
they are
also
the same type of,
danger to the
they are the same logo.
society.
So
Right,
Andre, they are the
Yes.
right.
same
So
class.
those, let me, if you're talking about the political
Yeah,
criminals,
political thieves.
The warlords.
then now if you talk about the kind of person, you remember a while back I said it would be good to introduce a good prison system in Liberia, but then that will also intertwine with the justice system that is completely rotten.
Yeah.
That justice system need to be what they call it, McKenna say overhaul. It need to be revamped, the justice system. Now, for the political thieves, there's one solution. I would not say better yada. I would say you come to the UK, they got a lot of ships, those old prison ships. You have about 7 of those ships there. You remember Charles Taylor could leave the American had a warship that nobody could see. They were already on the shore of Liberia. You
Yeah.
have this sort of ship there that no family will visit. So if you send a political thieves there, una headquarter will fly people there to go to work and get them back. If they're there for 7 years, they're there for 7 years. So you don't have to, the taxpayer wouldn't have to worry because the political thieves might have built a
They're out.
mansion.
Yeah.
So you sell that mansion and
Yes.
see him for 20 years while there, so the taxpayer don't have to have problem with that.
Yeah.
That's one.
Period.
Now, for the petty thieves, it's simple. You can give them something they call community service.
Yeah.
That is when you stole from somebody on Broad Street, will send you to better yada. Now have a big cassava farm. You be in that cassava farm to produce cassava to feed a nation while you're there. I mean, we're not spending money. You actually creating something for us. So that way you ease the problem. So that rehabilitation can take place there. We educate you there that when you come from that cassava farm, you'll never rob somebody. So it's that kind of thing I will look at. But you need a leader with a better vision to bring such system into place.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Okay, there is something everybody will have 1 minute, just 1 minute to talk about this. Of late, we've been watching a lot of fire taking place in Liberia. I remember it happened somewhere. I think some little Muslim school where all the children died. Very pathetic. And houses just got several areas can get gutted down by fire, knowing the kind of way people build their houses connected. So what is it? Is it? What do we think is happening here? Is it because of the lack of illiteracy that people turn to use tin candles and this kind of thing? The kerosene lamp where you put in a bottle and you put a thread inside and light, or some that even oil they use or fuel oil. You think those are the things that are causing the fire, the rampant fire, disaster in Liberia.
Well,
but again, because and some do happen in a day though, so people are not sleeping that time. Nobody's lighting and candle that time. Yeah.
Well, let me come in. I think being that I have some electrical knowledge, I will come in with this. You see, we face a situation and I brought this down to poverty as well. People build structure, those makeshift structure, people build them to just have their head land for rain and sun to cover them. It's not built properly. And then we have what we call electrical theft. So you have people wiring places, they will take string or rope and connect it somehow. If you look at some of the houses, you see loose wire. And negative and positive, when it's not put together properly, it can spark a fire. So not necessary candle. Then you have the situation with generator. People use generator because of lack of electricity. And those who do the carry on the installation of these electrical appliances, they don't do it properly. So in a mix, something happen, it will spark fire, right?
Yeah.
And when fire start, because the houses are so,
Jam up.
yeah, they are so jammed together, so it will cause disaster. Now, if you those who have traveled to Sierra Leone, you see the way they put beta, there's some little layout. We need a complete layout with proper structure and good installation to stop all this. And that what also happened, Liberia is a country that you have a fire service 7 miles away from you. So when in the outbreak of fire, if you guys can remember, the fire service will send somebody first to come see water is fire before the fire trucks start coming. So every community needs to have a fire station. We don't have that. And so when little things spark, people wonder why. And even our electrical wire that you see on the street at times from LDC, if you're looking, sometimes it spark and that wire will burn to the end. So it's have to do with the education, the training of people who carry on installation in those places. And that's what we have. If I wake up today in Liberia, I see green and red wire, I say that negative and positive, I'll put it together and say I'll provide electricity. When it goes wrong, it goes wrong. That's what happened.
Chima, Andrew will close us up on it. Okay, I think Chima really doesn't really have any input on that topic because this is an age-old thing. But when it gets so rampant, then it brings concern, especially in a country like Liberia. Andre,
before Andre come in, remember a few months ago was in Buchanan, the hospital got burned.
Yeah, it was also in Jakarta.
It was not based on candle. It's actually based on the training, the electrician, the way we train them. They're not
getting. But they come from FVTC. Most of them come from FVTC, though.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You know what happened when you learn theoretical thing? Yeah, you have to go somewhere for internship for at least 6 months to have the proper understanding. Because what happened at the electrical thing in Tonmaha with the elective?
Yeah.
All right, that putting negative and positive together. If I say, because I learned it, I'm going to wire somebody's house, that's joke. You have to go for some internship somewhere for at least 6 months to have, or some electrical company can carry you to train you before you can do it yourself. But in Liberia, most people say, that negative and positive, they will climb the light pole, take wire and connect somebody's house, they still didn't call it.
And many people get shocked because of that. Some of them die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it depends on this kind of leadership that comes in to bring you have people that will say, let's regulate all of these institutions. People don't just come and say, I learned electrical engineer in VTC, and then you gave them your house to wire your house. No. There might be some sort of certificate. So we need all of this. So it requires people with good knowledge of this and require good leaders to lead us in the 21st century. And I'm sorry, we don't have that. That's why the age-old problem is still there.
Okay. Andre, close us up.
Yeah, I think first of all, Liberia, the educational system in Liberia is another thing that is destroying our country because, yeah, during certain courses in Liberia, like in the science field, you have electrical engineer, you have a chemist, a doctor. These are not only theoretical thing. They have to do more of practical in order to know their job perfectly because it's something that you going to do in the field. So, but in Liberia, you do more theory than practical. So at the end of the day, if the person graduates, they cannot perform because why? All they did was read, 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 and do without no practical. So when they go and do practical, one practical will destroy everything. And that's why you see in the medical field, there is too many deaths because these doctors and nurses, all they did is read, and some of the materials that they read, these are all outdated. So we need a good leader. It just comes down to a good. I'm saying this out of experience because I myself, I was in the science field. I did chemistry and biology. But when I look at it, I'm like, no, I'm not going to continue this. You go to LU, you go Fendel campus, you spend the whole day doing experiments. You had to put coal. Just imagine you doing chemistry and you lighting coal pack to do analytical and arrive at a result. Sometimes you don't even get the result. At the end of the day, the professor tell you, "Oh, the
It's
reason
all
why we
it's
didn't."
it's all because of bad system,
Yes,
bad
the professor
educational
tell you
system, and so
you didn't get the result because the chemicals are outdated. These
yeah.
chemicals are already expired long ago. But then why are you using it? How do you expect a chemistry student that is doing analytical chemistry to know, you know, or how do you expect someone who intend to go to the medical school at Doglati to know about medicine? How do you expect that if they cannot practice? They don't even, they just read, and the books that they read, these are not even up to date chemistry book. So
Okay,
the whole system is the problem. So if we have a good leader that can change, we need a real change to change our system and
okay,
put
that's a good
everything
one.
in the right place.
That's a good one when you say we need a good leader to change the system because this is the age-old problem. Well, on this note, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to say thank you very much for watching. And
I just want to say something quickly. If
yeah,
you ask our listeners to kind of just click on a link to follow, so every time Butterland comes on, it just like them so they can just dive into the program and they must share the link with other people.
oh, that's very good. Share the link you see right now displayed on the screen is the online radio. So there's several ways you can get us. You can get us on the online radio. For those of you who are at work and you don't have time to sit down before the screen, uh,
Yeah.
you can tune in. You will still get us, and you can also follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on YouTube. So we all over the place. And thanks a lot to Jamel, to Paul, and to Andre. It was great being here. The next time we come your way will be Saturday. Paul will be here with the ANC special, and Paul. By the way, my apology for not coming on because I was at work and I saw the link, but I couldn't make it. And then next Tuesday we'll be coming on again. As you know, we're not coming on. The borderline is not coming on Friday now because we're doing some technical adjustment in time, in not technology this time, but just in a day, in a date. I mean, or in a day of the week. That's what we're working on, and we'll be upgrading. Then we'll let you know if we come back to our normal Friday and Tuesday schedules. But for now, we are only on Tuesday. If you miss a show or if you got it halfway, you can still go back to YouTube and you can follow us. And Andre start putting things on the board, and you can get the whole details. And so this is how we let to end up. I have one big announcement. that is the Germany program. But we'll have the planning committee members to be here on bottom line one day to tell us how far they've gone and what they're doing.
I think next Tuesday, somebody should be with us to give our feedback. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, and we hope you can work that up. And so let's wrap it up this way, and we hope we'll be back on Tuesday. But don't forget to join us on Saturday.